Macho John Madden Juanito, sitting in the visitor center in Asheville, North Carolina, where it's quiet today. It's a big weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and maybe or maybe not, they're getting the kind of tourism they would like for Memorial Day weekend, but it has turned into a kind of lousy rainy day. It started out great, but now I got caught in the rain, and it's kind of a gray day. I've had a big weekend. Big weekend. There are two pretty wonderful things wanting to happen for me, and they're wanting to happen uncomfortably close to each other, and it may not work out for both of them to happen this week. The one is that I really think I'm going to get an apartment after my first 4 months back in Asheville have been sick, and I've either been in the hospital or rehab center or on the street, busted, broke on the street. Tonight is going to be night 18 in a row on the street. Tough stuff. It's an all-time record for me. I think the previous record was 12 nights in Cozumel in Mexico. But I've gotten good at it, and I've gotten tough from it. Gotten quite tough from it. I'm used to saying I can't sleep on concrete or wood. Yes I can. The last couple nights I've slept on concrete. I've slept on blacktop pretty well. Last night I slept a lot. Now I was warm because after I laid down on the blacktop in this parking lot where a bunch of other homeless people were camping out, someone came around and was handing out cheap sleeping bags. Cheap but effective, warm. And that's been my bane the last couple nights. It's been too cold. Even with the nice woolly blanket I got from my friend Amanda, cold has been the issue. But the combination of the woolly blanket and the down substitute sleeping bag, I was cozy last night. And sleeping on the blacktop and the parking lot, no, my body hung in because I've gotten tough. And what I can handle has gotten tough. And I'm having lots of realizations about I'm bigger than I remember. My 5 years on the road were all about you're lots bigger than you knew. And I got it. I kept getting it. Wow, I'm bigger than I ever knew. And it was wonderful and spiritual and exciting and inspiring. Then I got sick and lost track of all that. I went into fear, went into survival. But all that's pretty well sorting out. I saw the urologist on Thursday, and he's ready to do the simple prostatectomy, which hollows out the prostate, doesn't take it out, doesn't threaten your sexuality, doesn't threaten your ability to pee, should liberate my ability to pee after 5 months of wearing a catheter. And he wants to do it on Tuesday. Today is Sunday. That's 2 days from now. And I got so excited when I realized the option was Tuesday or a month from then. I didn't want to wait a month. So I said, good, we'll make it happen Tuesday. But I did not get my check. That's when I was still hoping I would get my Social Security check on Friday, and I didn't. So it looks now like I won't get it till Wednesday. So that means I cannot stay in a hotel. I've got no money still. I had still some hopes of getting into the safe shelter in West Asheville yesterday. A guy on the street told me, yeah, no, they have beds. Well, he's wrong. I mostly knew he was wrong, but I went out there on a flyer. So the only option now is either the Haywood Congregation Respite Center takes me back in, which they've been ignoring my pleas to get back in there, for 2 nights, for the night before the surgery and then the night after I get released from the hospital, which would be Wednesday. And that's really their niche. And I talked to somebody who used to work there, and she said, that's their niche. That's what they were created for, was to help people when they come out of the hospital. So there's no conscionable way for them to say no, but I think they will. And I think I know why. I've been sorting out a lot about what went on for me there and how is it that I got banned for life when other people who have been thrown out for fighting or using drugs get invited back. I'm too big for the place. I am too big for the place. And I'm getting one insight after another about how good I am for people, that people get bigger around me and then don't do as well when I'm not there. One insight was I hung out for a while yesterday on the front of the Battery Park Hotel where I used to live. And I talked with two of my old housemates there. And what have they been doing the last 5 years, and what have I been doing the last 5 years? Well, I've been traveling full-time. I've been exploring New Orleans and South Texas and Galveston and South Padre Island and Mexico and all this amazing, incredible, exciting stuff. They've been vegging. They've been sliding towards death, and they basically say it. It's the same every day, just kind of waiting for the end. Really, nothing exciting about my life. Well, the difference could not have been more incredible. And two of my favorite old homeless people, three, who did well in relationship with me, have not done well without me. Diana, my best friend at the house, we thrived on each other. Oh, we fed each other so well. But she hasn't had me, and she is now just really pathetically preoccupied with her own health, and she's got lots of health challenges. So that when she saw me, she didn't know what to do with me. She didn't know how to relate to me anymore, and it was like threatening, like stressful to try to respond to me. And we've had three encounters now. And then Eric, my best buddy, my roommate, the guy who brought out the wildness in me in such wonderful ways. And I brought out the gentling and the relationship and the reasonableness in him. When I saw him at the church a couple weeks ago, I went, wow, he's really into the life. He's selling drugs. He's doing drugs. He's not his old self at all. And then Rebecca, my other real friend from the street, who Eric said, oh, she is so lost in her meth. Yeah, met her today, and she's not looking good at all. And today she had really hard news, sad news. Eric has been busted for dealing, and it's $100,000 bond. He could be in big trouble. He could really end up doing serious penitentiary time. And she felt desperate to try to get him out of jail, to try to save him. I think because he's her pusher, I think she gets her stuff from him, not because she loves him. So that felt sad. Like, wow. I had romantic images of these two people, but it was based on who they were with me. And then finally, the final realization was the one person who knows that place said, make one more pitch for them to take you back in, because they ought to. If they claim to be a Christian organization, how are they going to leave you on the street the night before surgery? But I think they will. I think I'm just too threatening for Nicole, the director. And that finally all sorted out for me, because talking with another guy who does work there, he said, well, you just don't do well with women like Jenny. No, that's not true. Jenny and I knew each other before I ever got there. She was part of Sun Tzu Taekwondo. Jenny and I do really well with each other. Jenny and I, the last times I saw Jenny, she ended the visit by saying, love you. And she does. We love each other. So no, Jenny isn't the issue. The other top boss, Elizabeth, the den mother, she and I had amazing conversations. I've never for a moment thought that there was any problem with Elizabeth. But she's super tight with Nicole. She's renting an apartment from Nicole. They've known each other for like 15 years. She isn't going to challenge Nicole around this. If Nicole is saying he's bad news, he's just not good with women, because mostly of politics, because I challenge her around this whole business of masculinity and the modern American bastardization of feminism, where they say men are bad, men are toxic. And it doesn't go on in Mexico. I've got that so clear from being in Mexico. It doesn't go on there. It doesn't go on in New Orleans. Man, in New Orleans, it's not a catcall in New Orleans for a black man to say to a black woman, "Baby, you are looking so fine in that slinky red dress." They'll say, "Thank you, honey. Nice." No, they've not been contaminated by all that bullshit. Yeah, Appalachia the same. It's a certain wedge of intellectual, middle class, white, radical feminist women. And that's as a feminist myself for 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah. So they're going to say no. They're going to say no. And I realized you don't have to push to try to make everything happen at once. If they don't take you back if they don't give you that cushion of the respite, pull the plug tomorrow. When you got worked up over the phone for the surgery at Pardee Hospital, you said, if I have a problem and can't do this surgery now, if I have to put it off for a month, who do I call? So tomorrow, if I haven't heard back from the respite center, I will, and it's almost certainly, I think, what's going to happen. I will call Pardee Hospital and cancel the surgery, give them 24 hours notice, or almost. Lots of time to reschedule or just make plans to not have it. And then I'll move into my apartment, almost sure. I feel real confident in this. I'll get the apartment. My life will change a lot. I'll get off the street. I'll get lots of rest. And then in a month, I'll have the surgery. I don't like putting it off, but it's just real. It's just pushing too hard to try to make it all happen. And I will do one final, probably video for Haywood Church. And I say church because I will send it to other people in the organization. I'll go beyond the respite center and say, it's human, Peter Principle. Nicole got promoted above her level of competence. She's not adding much there. She stays in her own little cubicle office and fusses with papers all day. She's not real therapeutic. She doesn't have dynamic relationships with the clients. And I've talked to at least one other staff member who had big problems with her. And she's clearly the culprit with me. She's the one who's spreading the narrative that I'm not good with women, whereas I actually am great with women. Yeah. So that's that. Wow, 13. I didn't have that to be 13 minutes. Okay. Bye.